Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Or good evening to our wonderful listeners.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Max, and we are your hosts of Queer the Roster.
Strap on.
And strap in. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about male body image.
However, this episode is extra special because we have our very first guest.
He spent the last 5 years helping gay men reach their body goals and making them feel better than ever.
Please give a warm welcome to online coach Adam
Thomas.
Woo! Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Thanks for being here with us today. Do you want to introduce yourself a bit? Tell us what you do.
I'm a fitness coach. I work online now. I used to work in the gym, and my business has kind of evolved towards working with mainly gay men. It's no longer just like a fitness thing. It's more of a holistic health business to help them deal with their mental health, their physical health, their overall well-being, achieve physique goals, but, not at the expense of their overall well-being.
I felt that for so many years of my life, and even now to a degree, still struggle with my body image. What do you think are the causes for so many queer men to feel this way, because it is such a universal experience?
It's easy to jump to social media and think that that's the main cause of all of this, but I'll say gay men a lot because I work with mostly gay men, but I mean this more generally in terms of queer people. But I think we are very self-conscious of our body image, even pre-social media era, and thinking about where that might come from. I mean, obviously there was the whole AIDS epidemic, 80s, 90s, and off the back of that, there was for gay men, muscularity was a symbol of health and surviving, and that you are healthy and not struggling with that illness. And then social media came in 2000s, 2010, and hookup apps, and I think it's just kind of escalated that issue in that my body represents something, it's communicating something. Yeah, I think there's more to it than just the social media. I think social media's just made it maybe a little bit worse, and it's a bit more image based. And then the second thing I would say is related to that, from school. I don't know about you, but you would want to hide maybe the fact that you were gay, or you had feminine traits that you would want to hang out with girls, or you try and adjust your voice. We're very attuned to how we're coming across. We're thinking, how are we coming across to other people? And so again, it's our body is maybe if I get more muscle, people won't find out that I'm gay, or I'm as feminine, and it's something to hide maybe.
It's a perception of being more masculine, and it brings a lot of shame, and it's the kind of shame that it does stay with people. It's taken me many years to get past that and be very happy and proud of my femininity. For me personally, being called a twink a lot and being referred to as a twink was almost in a derogative way.
Yeah.
People do use the word, and it is just a part of our queer lingo. But, there was a lot of shame in that, in being perceived a certain way. And it's very easy to see, like we're saying, a lot of these things online, and with social media coming into place and playing a large part, there's so many unrealistic bodies that we see online, and you see these big muscly men, and you don't see actually what they have to do to get to that point.
It's also posing as well.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
The way you look when you wake up in the morning compared to after you've eaten 3 meals a day, you're going to be bloated. You're not going to be as defined maybe as when you're posing in the mirror at the gym.
Sure. And when people are setting up a tripod, I mean, I'm guilty of this too, but you set up a tripod at your bed, and it's not real life. It's just not. And I think people fall for that, in that they think it's real life, whether you've got a pump on after the gym, or you're wearing certain clothes that accentuate certain features. It's all play on with the eyes, to make a waist look slimmer and, make glutes look bigger. That's massive in female fitness as well. But you raised an interesting point about the shame and how that comes with you. Even when you build up a bigger body or build up more muscles, those feelings don't go away. It's so interesting. They follow you around like a shadow. And so if that was your reason to train, and this is what I try and teach my clients, if your main reason is just to put on muscle, we've got to dig deeper into why that is. And if it's coming from a place of shame, I'm not enough and people will love me more or like me more and accept me more, then we need to maybe work on that, or untangle that a little bit.
Yeah, I remember having such a big moment in realizing how much exercising and going to the gym was affecting my mental health in such a positive way.
Mm.
Because I remember having another dip whilst I was at uni and not going to the gym and, you know, feeling the way I was for multiple reasons, but having a therapist tell me, just go back to the gym for a bit. Just see how you feel. And after a week, like the difference was just massive. And that wasn't necessarily because I was getting a pump or like seeing how I looked in the mirror, which was like the older reasons why I'd go to the gym. It was just like the endorphins and the physical workout of being there. And
I don't think you ever come out of somewhere like the gym or doing, and it doesn't have to be the gym. It could be like playing sports, like a little bit of like tennis with a friend. You rarely come away from those things regretting doing it. Like
Yeah.
I don't think the only times I have is when I'm sick and I've maybe gone to the gym and I shouldn't have gone to the gym and I come out feeling worse. All of the times I come out feeling better. So it's just remembering that, like, yeah, the heaviest door of the gym is that front door.
I definitely, when I had a gym membership, I struggled getting through the door. I felt like it was really quite aesthetics based and I felt a bit uncomfortable, like I didn't belong or I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt a bit anxious being in the gym.
Where do you think that came from for you personally? Like,
I've always done team sports and been a team sport person, and I think maybe it's quite the isolation of being in the gym. Like it's quite individual exercise and really just working on yourself. And I think, like you said about the holistic way, I think I was going to the gym for a certain goal, not necessarily to feel good, because, you know, I feel good doing different types of exercise, not necessarily lifting weights.
Yeah. And people will think of the gym as I'm going to the gym to change my body. And I think maybe for someone like you who's come from a sporting background, if you can reframe it as I'm going to the gym to support my sports, like if I'm going to go into a team sports, because it doesn't have to be physique change. Like you don't have to go to the gym to grow muscle. You can just go to the gym to maintain. You can go to the gym for functional performance reasons. The majority will go to get, you know, a mirror shot and to post a new picture to their Instagram, but you don't have to do it that way.
I just felt like the atmosphere, especially in the gym that I did go to, was like that. But I definitely, I mean, I'm training for a marathon right now.
Amazing.
So I'm doing my leg days in the tiny climbing gym.
I think those sort of environments as well, you are able to meet people there. You are able to make friends there. And, you know, depending what sort of gyms and spaces that you go to, especially as queer people, you do just sort of find each other in ways like they just...
In the gym?
Yeah, in the gym, in other sort of workout spaces. I know that there's a lot of gyms in Manchester that are like very queer based and most of the clientele that go are queer. And I know for a lot of queer people that adds such a level of comfort, because I've been that, you know, young queer man in the gym who's felt like I'm out of place because I'm around all these very straight presenting hyper masculine men. And I'm at a point now where like I'll walk around in the gym in my slutty little shorts, swinging my hips, listening to Beyonce, not caring. But there's also an aspect of like the confidence that's come in looking the way I do, in working hard and having that body that I probably wouldn't have that confidence if I was to go back 5 years and how I looked back then.
Putting in the time, putting in the reps, that's the only way to build confidence, really, isn't it? Like there's no trick to it, unfortunately. Like however much you can try and psych yourself up, it's you've got to just keep turning up, and that comes with time. And I remember starting off like you, like there's no way I would have worn like little booty shorts at the start. It didn't take long, but it depends what gym you go to, though. I'd say it's very gyms. I've been to certain gyms where I still don't feel comfortable in them, and I choose to end my membership and go somewhere else.
So, speaking about the gym and everything, today's outfit inspiration:
sweat and slay.
So, Ems, do you want to go first? Talk us through your sweat and slay outfit.
I've got my trainers that trekked me across Southeast Asia, some Adidas track pants, my running jacket, and my running cap.
She's got a little ponytail on the
Marathon
back.
trainer.
Marathon trainer.
And it's Australian tennis open, so I feel like you've got a tennis vibe going on as well. Do you know what I mean?
Ready
Like,
for any
today.
sport.
Yeah, she's got a cap on. Yeah, that sun's not getting in her eyes.
Just for the studio lights.
So no makeup.
Love that.
What are you wearing, Max?
I've got some trainers on, socks. I never know what socks to wear with gym stuff, whether I wear the high ones, but I think the low invisible ones are a bit of an ick. So I don't really wear those
I have
ones.
this same internal. I'm glad that you've brought this up because I often go through this in the morning as well.
What socks to wear at the gym.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I've gone
yeah,
for some
yeah.
longer ones today. I've got my really nice short booty
Nothing
shorts
on the bottom.
Nothing on.
Nice and naked in the chair.
If I drive in the car with these shorts on, it looks like I'm just driving in my boxes.
If you zoom in, you will see a
There
short.
is this little short
there is
slit here.
He's
I
wearing
promise.
something, but you have to zoom in on 2 times.
And then I've got like a nice gym top and a fleece on because, to be honest, the set is quite cold. So
It is nippy.
it's nippy.
Yeah.
But Adam, talk us through your sweat and slay
I
outfit.
really didn't think this through, but yeah, I just got my trainers. I always train in these trainers. They're like flat to the ground, great for squatting. You know, I can feel the earth. And then I've got my Adidas Original pants on. They're stretchy, but they're a bit too hot to train. I wouldn't train in these; get a bit too sweaty.
Fair enough.
But they're more like a comfy thing. And then I've got my protein top on, which I would train in actually. Yeah,
Got the muscles popping out.
It hides how pale I am.
Meanwhile, I've got my paleness on full
Actually,
show.
yeah, we are very similar
milk
tone.
bottle vibes. But
Yeah.
So you mentioned that queer people often go to the gym to kind of hide behind the performative masculinity of it. Do you think straight men are affected in the same way?
I don't. I actually think it's a totally different monster for us queer people, and there is a performance to it. We overcompensate a lot with how far we push ourselves. I mean, from working with some clients, some of the things I've heard some clients do, like walking up and down the stairs for hours to lose weight.
Wow.
You know, like skipping meals is very common, and I don't think straight men on the whole do these sorts of things where they skip meals and like put themselves through hours of cardio and have the kind of it's about the relationship with food, exercise, and the they were all intertwined. And I don't think straight men have that same problem. You can't say for everyone, because I've got some straight friends who I did gymnastics with for 10 years, and if you want anything to destroy your body image, go into gymnastics or dancing or ballet. Because all of those sports, because it's so individual and like it's all about doing something perfectly, you become so hypercritical of yourself.
I've just thought on then, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you know with like straight men, they tend to like skip leg day because they think it's a bit gay because they don't want a big bum. But isn't leg day...
What's wrong with a big bum on a man, honestly?
Isn't it? Like, I love a big bum on a man, but isn't it that like releasing testosterone, like your leg sessions are the ones that bring out the most?
It's true, because it's a more powerful muscle. Like your legs are the biggest muscles of the body.
Your gluteus maximus.
Your quads and your glutes are powerful, so there's a stronger physiological response in terms of releasing testosterone.
The amount of times I've been at the gym and I've seen like a straight man who's like very top heavy, built like a Dorito, and then he's got 2 little chopstick legs.
Such a good point. I've never thought of this.
It's so funny to see.
Yeah.
But
I think
also...
it's, like you say, I wonder where that comes. It's probably a misogynistic thing, really, at its deepest root, because it's like, I associate good legs or a big bum with looking more feminine.
Yeah.
So I don't want to look feminine. I just want big shoulders and big biceps. So it's probably more of like a internalized misogynistic thing.
You look
I would
at like
say.
big sexy rugby players who are like, I know, like that's the only reason I'll watch any rugby.
See them rocking all over each other.
I know where your algorithm is.
The amount of videos we send to
It's the
each
slow
other.
motion rugby
It's the
tackles.
slow motion rugby tackles
It's
that
the
really
warm-ups.
get us
We've
there.
all been there.
First track,
Honestly,
rocking, lifting each other up when like the pants like give them a wedgie.
Oh,
Yeah. We've all been there in a dark spiral.
It's funny under the collar.
It's like when you see those wrestling and they've got like this skin tight lycra bodysuits on that you can see everything. And then
they know that you can see everything.
Yeah, and it's
and they pretend they're straight, but they're wrestling each other.
All these men that need to touch other men to outmask each other. It's an interesting thing.
Maybe it's the definition though of being so secure with yourself and sexuality that you feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, you dipped into the point a little bit then, but there's such a big difference with women's body image and how that's perceived compared to men's. Like there always has been such a big difference, but especially with women, I mean, you'll know, especially being a woman, it's a whole different world.
Ball game.
It's
I mean, the perfect woman's body image, like body type, has changed throughout history. If you look at
like constantly,
ancient Greek
Changes fast
statues,
as well.
Renaissance pictures, when there was curvaceous belly rolls, and then compare it to 90s heroin chic and then the BBL era, and now we're dipping back into the skinny Ozempic era. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the peak masculinity image has always been muscular, shredded. But women, we can't keep up. It's always changing. And is that in the eyes of a man that's deciding that? How do I feel as a woman that I have to look a certain way to be considered beautiful and attractive? There's no beauty and individuality, I think, anymore when it comes to body types. Maybe that's heightened with social media.
Yeah, celebrity culture, those sorts of things. It disorientates you as well. I think when it's moving at this pace that it does, and it changes so quickly, it's very disorientating because you never know like what the next trend is, or like how should I look, and it's very confusing to you. Maybe it's done in a way to almost suppress,
Where's my men?
Yeah, because like by keeping you like, it's like a cat with a laser, and it's like, where's it going to move next? And like it's just very disorientating. Whereas like you say with men's physique, it's usually pretty stable as to like the ideal body type, and that's not always a healthy thing still. But yeah, Ozempic and weight loss drugs coming through. Gay men are using them quite a lot. Again, another similarity. I don't think straight men are leaning into those, but I've had about 5 clients who have been on pretty strong doses of Mounjaro, Ozempic, and these drugs have pretty severe side effects.
Serena Williams, a champion athlete, saying that she struggled with losing weight her whole life. Why are you focusing on losing weight? Your body has won you championships, medals, trophies.
Yeah, you're
Surely
right.
that is the epitome of a healthy body. Does it matter? Why does it matter what it looks like compared to someone who may be a bit slimmer?
She's an absolute goddess as well. Like, there's nothing there that needs to change.
But she's a spokesperson for Mounjaro or Juniper or whatever.
You're right.
That's crazy.
She did an advert, and she's done, and but it just goes to show, no matter how much money, how many championship titles you win, if you are insecure about something, you don't work through that, it'll follow you around again.
It kind of leads on to my next question about what's the correlation between looking good and feeling good?
That is subjective, and like, who am I to say that is the physique that we might have an ideal body type from society, but when I start labeling this as good, I feel like that could be harmful. And who am I to say that that's what the good physique is and you should be aiming for that? Like, when a client comes on to me, I'm not telling them this is what we're aiming for. I'm asking them, what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to drive this? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to build some muscle? Do you want to just like do this for routine and improve your habits? So I would say overall it's about feeling good, but you can look muscular, look lean, not feel good. You can look lean and feel very good about yourself. That I wouldn't say there's a correlation. It's about where that's coming from. Like, what's your drive towards training?
I think that, going back to what we were saying about looking good and feeling good, social media is just like the worst thing for this. Because if I feel like, I've not been to the gym enough, and then I swipe up and someone's there shredded, big 6-pack, and I'm like, I could look like them if I wasn't lazy, or if I went to the gym more, or I ate a certain thing, and then it creates that whole feeling of, it's not healthy. It's not good.
They could have made that video though, and then let in bed the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about time and social media. There's 24 hours in a day. A 15-second pump post on your story isn't going to define their whole day.
Yeah. And it's like to take you, for example, who is someone, this is your job, you're online PT, all the content that you post on your social media pages, someone could just take a quick glimpse in that and think that you are 24/7 in a gym and that you don't have any other life outside of that. But it's just not the truth. It's not the case, because there's so many other areas of your life that you find happiness in. Obviously, you find a lot of happiness in your job, in the gym, and in fitness, and helping other people. Yeah. But we're all human. There's so much more to our lives, and there's so much more than just looking good that create happiness in our lives. Like, all the issues that we've sort of spoken about, they are absolutely plastered all over dating apps, especially like with queer men. Things like Grindr, even like Hinge and Tinder and those things. It's like, I've done it myself, where you put in your profile your gym pictures, like you've got your pump, you've literally just finished. We've done it before, where we've done an ab session. We're there in the mirror like, hey, look at us. We're like all built up. But it's become such a thing on dating apps that, I'm almost like sick of seeing it, but also I've been a part of it.
I know exactly what you mean. It's funny how you go through different phases. Like I've been there too, and I've been, choosing the best gym pick. I don't know. There's something that rings alarm bells with that. If someone's own, especially if all their pictures are that, if all of their pictures are gym, here's my body. I'm like, how much value have you put on how you look? Like, if it's 100%, like, what's the chances of you actually having a personality? I know that sounds horrible, but like if all of your pictures are just flexing in the gym, what else are you showing me? There's no, it's very one-dimensional. So I would just scroll past those people. It depends what you're looking for though. Like if you're looking for a hookup and you have a specific type of person that you want to be with, and that ticks your box, then fine. But if you're looking at it from a dating perspective and it's like, who do I want to have intimacy with and have intimate conversations with and feel safe with and, have interesting things to talk about? If it's all about the body, then there's very little chance you're going to get that.
I think it's very superficial as well if you're just looking or if you're just caring about what you look like. Because when you die, no one's going to be at your eulogy and say, oh, they had the biggest, fattest ass. Maybe
that's what I want them to say.
Okay.
Well, that's the aim.
If I die before you and you don't say that, like, you don't.
Why do you think we're killing ourselves on the hip thrust? Like...
Okay, maybe that wasn't a fair point.
No, but I do get what you're trying to say. They're going to care
about, like you say, about your values, about how kind you are, what you're doing in your daily life to do good for the world, or your passions.
Yeah, at the funeral, like, oh, she was the most amazing person ever and was just so great with all the people, but that ass.
No one's going to say you were fat at your funeral anyway. Or
God, you'd hope
you
not.
Have back rolls.
Back rolls.
We had to get the extra large coffin.
But yeah, in terms of dating and, the hookup apps, it's very superficial. Your body is currency for getting what you want. Like if that's sex, immediate sex, or if it's like more friends or popularity or more likes or more validation, your body is like, it's very easy to become trapped in that thought of my body is currency and it's going to get me what I want. And it's a very dangerous game to play because you end up just surrounded by people who only value you for your body, which is not a nice place to be. It can feel very lonely. And I've kind of been there, actually. I've been in certain circles where that's been the case. And there's been a hierarchy of who sleeps with who. Do you know, like literally people rank you. I've not been in that, but I know that they exist. Of where you get like a rank, you get like a priority, or like a Ryanair.
Speedy boarding.
So if you put yourself in those space, this is what I say to clients, like just maybe manage what spaces you're in physically and digitally. And if you're spending a lot of time on Grindr and on Hinge and on Tinder and you're exposed to this all the time, maybe that could be harming your results or harming your own relationship with your body.
It does. Like I've been in that position where it's been like the climbing videos or the gym pics and things like that. And then it's interesting how I found that when I've been on dates with people and I've actually like shown my personality and really clicked and got on with them, they've been like, oh, you're not who I thought you were. You don't seem like what you put out there. And then it's almost a little bit embarrassing to have someone say that you don't, like, you're so much better than what you seem on your dating app because it's the gym stuff. It's the, like, it creates an impression of who you are before they even meet you. And it's not always a good one.
True, but it's a catch-22 because if you were to put your raw, unfiltered pictures on their videos, people would probably swipe past that. So it is a catch-22.
There's no
because,
winning, is
like,
there?
what is
get
it
off
that?
dating apps.
Get off dating apps. So, like, I think what is the percentage success rate? I'm sure it's less than like 30%. I looked at Hinge and
higher than I thought it was going to be.
Less. It's definitely less than 30%. Like even to just, I mean, not even long-term partner. I think it was like to get past a certain number of dates, like 5 or 10. So I was like, I remember looking at the stats and being like, holy cow, like this is like gambling. Like I'm just like the chances of you getting your long-term match from an app is slim, and unfortunately.
It's the scrolling addiction as well. You just get addicted to just swipe.
So you're obviously going to have it on that app too.
And what's that driven by? It's driven by anxiety and fear. because like just like social media is, like these apps are driven by fear and anxiety of dying alone. Like we're 30 but we're already thinking, oh my god, I'm alone. So like, you know, it's driven by that. It's like, hold on, you've still got your life ahead of you. And but these apps are driven by anxiety and fear, and I see a correlation there with clients who are struggling with anxiety. And it could be, is the phone causing more anxiety, or are they on their phone because they have anxiety? Who knows? But there's a correlation of like scrolling, dating apps, and like swiping and having a higher anxiety, I would say.
So I think you mentioned about being in more intimidating spaces. So your gym where you live being quite calm compared to other commercial gyms. We have to talk about the gay gym. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I owe a lot to that gym. It's where I started my business, and I just walked into that gym as a very skinny. I'm not going to say Twinkie because I don't want to put people in boxes. But I was an underweight little, skinny little blonde gay, and I started my business just as a generic thing, like I'm going to PT, and then I quickly saw how large the gay demographic was.
For anyone who doesn't know, there is one gym in northern Manchester city centre that is just known as the gay gym.
Gay gym and gay Aldi.
Gay gym and gay Aldi,
yeah.
And everyone's walking their sausage dogs outside around, but it's not in the slightest bit an exaggeration. You walk in that gym, it's the gay gym.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's just the area that, just like you've got,
all the gays
Soho
live.
in London, like it's just where the gays
live.
Islington Marina.
Yeah, and so they just use the gym that's local. Although I do know somebody who treks across town to use it.
To go to that gym.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, I know
God.
somebody who lives in Deansgate and they trek across. But yeah, it's a huge proportion of like gays in Manchester that use that gym, and I quickly saw how many gays were in there that needed help, like with their health and fitness.
You found your market.
It naturally happened just because I saw, like, when I looked at my clients of, like, I remember looking through the list of men versus women, and I was like, right, okay, it's about 70% men. How many of them are gay? 100%. So I was like, right, there's clearly a sign here. They're coming to me for help. So that's when, after a year or two of working in that gym, and it's quite an intense space. I'd say when my body image was probably at its worst, or like that was when I was training the most in that gym. Not to say that caused it, but it was probably correlated with working in that space.
I have a love-hate relationship with that gym because, don't get me wrong, the kit in there is great. They've got some great kit in there.
Big gym.
It's a big gym, but it does feel a bit like a gazelle, like I'm a gazelle in a lion's den. Yeah. Especially when people get all starey. And this is the thing that I hate, and I know we briefly mentioned this in previous episodes, is I'd have such a different feeling if people would come up to me and introduce themselves and say hi, smile, that kind of thing. But when it's just staring and I'm there trying to do my bench press or my squat or whatever I'm doing that day, it just makes me feel so uncomfortable, and it makes me not want to go to gyms like that and to spaces like that because...
Meat market,
yeah. I'm more than just a piece of meat.
I quite like that gym. Obviously, that's the gym I used to go to. I used to go every Monday to what we called gay spin class, because we went to spin class once. I find classes more engaging because, like you say, it's a team effort almost. You're there with other people exercising, and I go in thinking, this is going to be a regular time. The instructor is camp as Christmas from the West Country, which is where I'm from. He's like, all right, my loves, are you ready to sweat? And his playlist was amazing, and we'd be up on the bike.
His playlists are amazing. I came to one, We would like to thank Adam so much for being our very first guest on Queer the Roster and for being here today.
If you want to get more advice from Adam on how to look and feel better in your body, you can follow him at
Thomas X on Insta. Oh, I've never done this before. It feels so weird.
Shameless plug. Come on, get yourself out there.
Yeah, just on socials on Insta at Thomas X. You'll find my podcast there. You can find my emails. You'll find a few free resources if you want help with your body image. There's one on there too.
And after listening to your advice today, I really think training holistically and with your mind as well as your body is how you're going to achieve your goals.
And also, like, being someone who's known you for so long and seen your social media page, the things that you post, like, they've helped me so much, like, so much advice, just even little things, daily reminders and things like that make such a big difference in my fitness journey. So everybody should go and check him out.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you, guys.
Well, that was a nice change than just our two voices on the show. What's that?
It's the Homo hotline.
Time for another caller.
Hi, my name's Reese. I use he, him pronouns, and I need some advice about my terrible gaydar. Anyway, when I used to go to my university gym, I used to see this guy in there. He was covered head to toe in tattoos. We're talking like the straight man sleeve. Anyway, he was super muscly, Greek god, statue, chiseled, everything. We never interacted with each other. I wouldn't smile at him, he wouldn't smile at me. So I just thought he was one of those hot, straight gym lads. Anyway, a few months pass, I'm single, I'm back on the apps. One of the first people I see is him. I swiped, we match immediately. Then he messages me saying, oh my God, it's my gym crush. I just have a terrible gaydar. I miss out on meeting people organically. I just need some advice. What is your advice to help me overcome this?
That's a great one.
Thank you, Reese, for calling in.
Thank you, Reese.
Oh, yeah, gaydar. See, mine isn't the best. I can't lie. I do struggle sometimes. I think with some people it's really obvious, but in an instant like that, I feel like, yeah.
Because gym clothes aren't necessarily pointing at if you're gay or not. But then again, if the clothes you wear on a regular basis can't really indicate if you're gay anymore, because a lot of gay fashion trends have turned
that's
trends.
it always starts that like queer people come up with this cool trendy clothing things or anything, and then the straights not long after jump on the bandwagon, and then it's not cool anymore.
Or the
So
fast
queer
fashion
people,
brands.
oh, that's the thing, like there'll be a nice queer designer that'll come up with something, and then suddenly it's on Boohoo, it's on Pretty Little Thing.
ASOS.
Yeah.
Carabiners have become a trend now, when it used to be a typical thing that lesbians would wear.
Yeah,
and
now it's just a
use.
keychain.
There's definitely some history behind that properly as well.
We'll find that out.
But advice, I'd say just approach and say hello. Start with being friendly, assess the vibe.
Yeah, because you can approach someone in a friendly way that doesn't have to be flirty, that if you get the very clear indication that this is someone straight, new friend, new gym friend, you know? And then if they are queer and they're hot and you get the vibe, You're in. Not literally, but not yet. So we've had a few more queries sent in to us this week. Would you like to start, Emily?
So we had this one sent in after our second episode. Are icks ever justified?
Yeah, of course they're justified. If you have a physical reaction to something that really bothers you, how is that not justified? You react the way that you react.
Yeah, I mean, it can maybe be a superficial thing though sometimes.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like if you're not attracted to someone because of something, you're not attracted to them. You can't just instantly flick a switch and it all be well again. I think that, sometimes I look back and I'm like, I probably could have looked past that. But then again, if it's meant to be, it will be.
And I think, like we said last episode, if your feelings are strong for the person, you won't get the ick. You'll find them cute, silly things that they do.
Yeah.
Endearing,
very true.
not icky.
Yeah.
Any queries?
Yes, we actually had someone ask, where is the set? Our beautiful set,
We can't
designed by
disclose.
award-winning production designer Emily Lunson.
No cap.
So this used to be, way back in the day, used to be a tailor's, hence the real glass windows, which someone actually asked me, are they actual glass windows? And they are. We cannot disclose the location of the set for our privacy, because we don't want you all showing up here when we're trying to film our episodes. But yeah, we did with it what we could, and look at it now. So thank you so much for that query. We would like to thank Adam and all of you for joining us once again.
Please make sure to send in your dating stories and your queries so you could be featured on the Homo hotline.
Now, next week, we will be departing from our beautiful set. However, we will be visiting a very iconic venue in the heart of Manchester's gay village to talk about queer spaces.
You don't want to miss it. I'm Emily.
And I'm Max, and we have been your hosts of Queer the Roster.
Remember to lift the weight
And masturbate.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.